How to find your perfect job through knowing your skill set colors. And it really is the power of knowing your skill set colors as well. All of these different modalities that you have at your fingertips now are all very empowering tools for you to know how to utilize every part of you. We're not, although, yes, we have been very much taught this way, to fit into society, to be like everybody else. We go on that comparison journey, but it's not meant to be like that. And once we do start empowering ourselves with the knowledge of where we're best placed, and like today we're talking about the skill set and job, then you are going to be able to find a lot of inner peace and grace, and you're going to be able to step into more of an alignment of your true path, of a knowing and a deeper understanding of who you are. And it helps with relationships and all sorts. So, hey, that's me. My name's Alexandra McCue. I am a colorologist. I am with the fantastic Odyssey, the platform. And a colorologist, if you haven't heard of them before, for those who have come on and thought, what is it that you're even talking about? Colorology is a combination of numerology and color therapy combined. Color therapy was massive in the 80s, and it's been with us for centuries. I mean, we're talking about Pythagoras, we're talking about back in the ancient Egyptian times. And we're bringing it forward into this new age because, again, it's another modality in order to empower people, for them to understand themselves on a deeper level than ever before. The reason that I came to colorology was exactly that. I needed that validation because I was tired of trying to seek that from other people and be like other people, and then plague myself with not being quite like them, and then realizing once you know your colors that you're not meant to, and actually you are like this and that. I just went, oh, okay. So that's who I am. Like, I'm not going to try and fit into your box anymore. This is my box. So it really, really does empower you in that way as well. So it represents your unique combination of abilities, strengths, and talents. That is predominantly what your skill set colors are there for. Also, hot tip, it's how you come across to people. So this area where you'll find this color is how you come across to people as well. But yeah, so this obviously, excuse me, the skill set colors that represent your abilities and strengths and talents are a way of you being able to identify where you are best placed, like I've said earlier. So if you are a communicator going into an administrative job and typing away all day is not going to be the best place for you. It's not utilizing your true essence and who you are. So what we're going to go through within this presentation is going to help you identify your skill set colors and to give you an understanding of what sets you apart in the job market. And understanding it is crucial. So when you are unlocking your potential in the professional world, this is how you're, as I said, without the comparison side of things, are able to make big moves. I don't know about you if there's a show of hands, but certainly for myself, it's been one job, then another job, then another job, a job. And it's because a lot of the time we feel like we've got to make money, and that's where we have to go. However, when you understand your skill set colors and you start actually going for your career, or even one of those jobs, if you say to said boss or manager, these are my skills, this is what I am good at, this is where I can be placed, and you can have that one-on-one, then you're going to find that job satisfaction. You're going to find that when you go home, you're not going to be like, oh my gosh, I've got to go back there again tomorrow and I can't. I mean, we've all had that dread. We've all had to try and lift our head up from the pillow the next day and be like, we've got to do this. Whereas, as I said, utilizing this is meaning that you're actually placed where you need to be placed, and it's going to give you that job satisfaction. So here is the assessment and analysis. So how to determine your skill set colors. This is an activity that if you've got your pen and paper, you're going to want to do, because this is going to show you what your colors are. And today, as I say, we are concentrating on your skill set colors. So date of birth, where we start with your day of birth, your month, and your year, we will add them all up. So if you can see on the screen, as an example, we've got November. So that's 11. So that'd be 1 and 1, which is 2. So if that was your day, then that would be 2. If it's a month, if it's just 5 on its own, then it's 5. If it's a double digit, like 1 and 2, then it would be 3. Then onto your year, it's the exact same process. So we will have, let's say, 1990. There we go. Let's start with an easy one, shall we? So 1990. So 1 and 9 together would be 10. Obviously, we get rid of the 0, so that's 1. 9 and 0 together would be 9. So we get rid of the 0. And then 1 and 9 again together would be 1. Now, I know, believe it or not, like my job is now maths. I can't believe that I managed to find a job that is going to be maths, because it is not my strong point. However, so let me go over that last part just in case. So we're adding 1 and 9 and 9 and 0 together in simplest form, okay? And it will come down to 1, yeah? And then what you do to find out your personality color, although that's another presentation, okay? We've got your date in the your oh my goodness, your day, and then you have your month, and then you have your year, and then you'd add them all up together, and whatever number that creates will tell you what your personality color is. Again, if it comes up to an 11, then it would be 1 and 1. So you're always trying to cancel it down to a single digit number, okay? Whereas that's a little bit different. In numerology, you've got the 11s, you've got the I believe the 33s as well, and you don't touch them. They are, I believe, master numbers. Whereas with color, we only go up 1 to 9. So it'd be from red to gold. So that's our set of colors that we deal with them. And then we will go into what they are. So now that you've determined your skill set color that you've got from your date of birth, you're able to see just a short snippet into what this means within your different areas of where you have finally found your color. So if you've got a red inner child, the red signifies determination, leadership, results-driven approach. So you can imagine that being as your skill set. This is someone that's going to be like decision-making. I've got that impulsive, drives forward, can't sit still, gonna keep busy. It's that leadership, that stoicism, which is amazing. And then you have the orange. Now, orange within the skill set is going to be the creative part. They're the ideas birther. They just birth ideas. They're just like with their ideas. They're fantastic. Adaptability, flair of innovation. Now, they're a little bit, they're not too far from red, let's say. It is the one step up. But the difference between red and orange is that orange has a bit more fluidity. It's a bit more like, woo, and then over here, it has that fluidity, whereas red is a little bit more rigid. No, this, that, done, now. Yeah. But it's still quick. So when it comes to thought processes and these ideas that are coming through, it's with them because they've got that, they're able to do that. And then you've got yellow. Brilliant yellow in the skill sets. Now, yellow is where we would say it's our problem solvers. These are the ones that excel in finding innovative solutions, okay? They're the organized ones. They're the ones that are able to put pen to paper. They're logical. That's what they're built for. So they need stimulating work. So again, if you're going to put it somewhere where it's not stimulating, that yellow skill set is just going to be like, can't, I'm out. Green. So green reflects empathy, collaboration, and a talent for building harmonious relationships. Those with green in their skill sets are excellent team players and mediators. And they really, really are. Think about where the green is in your chakras, as she wears a perfect example. Oh, that wasn't even meant, but it is green. This is Vesuvinite. I've never even heard of it either. I kept calling it Venezuela because I couldn't even say Vesuvinite. So anyway, Vesuvinite is green, same as your heart chakra. It lies over my heart chakra. And that is very much the same as the skill set of green too. It is all matters of the heart. They won't do something their heart's not involved. So in work, they're fantastic if it's on the empathy side of things. You know, if they're working as a collaboration, they're part of communities, that's brilliant. They can come across as very stubborn. And that's because they won't do something their heart is not involved with. So, but I like that within the workplace. If you're working with someone and they just straight up go, yeah, no, I'm not doing that. I know where I am with you. It's fine. Okay. You know, I know where I am with you. Then we've got blue. So blue portrays strong communication skills, organization, and attention to detail. If blue is part of your skill set, you excel in roles that require clear communication and structure. Blues. You can look for marketers, you can look for marketing consultants, communications, anything like that. That is where, because you've got the communication skills, yes, but you've got like one up from the yellow then with organization. They are meticulous. They are brilliant at it. They're also known as the natural healers. So they too could be in caring roles themselves. And they're utilized in such places where they have to, well, I suppose the best way to say is the organizational side of things. But what the blue doesn't like is sudden changes. Because it's a chill color, it's so cool. So within that workplace, you can understand that when it comes to their organization, it's because they're on top of it. Then suddenly if something comes in, they're like, whoa, that's why they need to be organized. Then you've got indigo. Indigo denotes intuition. So now if you imagine where we are on the chakra, we've gone from the throat, and we're now here on the third eye. Indigo denotes intuition and deep insight because it's your third eye. These are natural teachers, indigos. They are. And they've got this ability to see the bigger picture. And like I say, anything from these colors going upwards now, indigo, violet, magenta, and gold, they have quite a few years in wisdom through experience. My guides gave me a fantastic analogy the other day. I wonder if they're going to send it to me now. Do you want to send that to me now? That was a really good analogy. Okay, they said no. Great, thanks. That's fantastic. So some some of the colors that I'm talking about, the indigo, the violet, magenta, and gold, because they've been here quite a bit in the past, we're talking past lives now. We're talking so many past lives that they've got this wisdom, right? So what happens? Thank you. Now you are bringing it in once I'm talking. So imagine your parents. Sometimes the older era, they're a little bit of a worrywart, aren't they? And that's why, because they've lived. Yeah, this is very natural to them. They will worry because they know what to expect a lot of the time. Sometimes, you know, growing up, they've gone through hardships and such, so they can't not expect that to happen. So it comes across as a worry, but it's actually their experience as well. And it's the same as the indigo. It's the same as these higher colors here. They have got that inner wisdom. So they're able to use that, which is fantastic because they have years and years worth of it, not in this lifetime, but in other lifetimes. Then we have the violet. Violet is a combination of wisdom, again, creativity and visionary perspective. So violets are all about the beauty, inner beauty. So where you have indigo, which is structure and justice, they'd be fantastic police officers with indigos. Fantastic. They really would. They're very black and white. They're very about the truth and justice. So that you would see them in those kinds of roles. I always laugh because I've got violet within my skill set. And although violet too and the indigo have these counseling abilities about them, because they have that wisdom and they want to spend that time with people to help them, they've got that empathy about them. The difference in indigo and violet is that the indigo is a police counselor. The violet would be the drugs counselor. The violet would be like, You know, the indigo would be like, you shouldn't have been doing that. These are the rules. Whereas the violet would be like, I can totally understand why you did that, you know. So that's the difference in them. And then you have the magenta. Now, magentas embodies emotional intelligence, compassion, and an understanding of human nature. Those with magenta in their skill set excel in roles requiring empathy and insight into people's emotions. But they also have this other touch of intensity about them. Magenta in your skill set, you are here to be seen. You are here to take up space. You are here to lead. And the beautiful thing about magentas is they are, if they're going to do something, it's going to be at expert level. And if it's not expert level, they're already naturally talented in it. It's quite a color, right? And then we've got gold. So gold, or a lot of other people will also associate gold as the white color. So the all-seeing white, in a lot of spiritual terms, in the esoteric way, they would, the bright light, white light that consumes you, that's also what we would say is the gold. So it is practicality, reliability, and strong work ethic. They're quite lazy. Now, what's funny is their work ethic is impeccable. They really are. They're very, very knowledgeable, and the kind of knowledge that you don't need to teach much to. It's just remembered, because again, these also have a lot of years, past lives under their belt that they can turn to within their mind, their Akashic records, to find out what it is that they need to do for this job or this task at hand, and they'll slip into it. They're great. They're very adaptable. They'll smash it in that way. But because they've kind of done it so many times, they just have this higher perspective of things. So what I suppose is deemed as lazy is just like, well, no, they just know how to delegate, or that they're above that at the moment and they don't want to. That's all. That's just the way that the gold is, and it's beautiful. One of their really good skills is their gentleness. Golds have this gentleness about them with people as well, so that they too, working with people, would be fantastic. Humanitarians, they want to save the world. Okay, so the red leader. Right, so I'm just going to give you an example of the red itself. So I've got two examples. So this is the first one. This is our red leader. So having the strong red skill set is, I think, the same as all of them, sometimes a blessing and a curse, right? But the only reason that it would ever be a downfall is that we're not empowering ourselves with this knowledge, because you could feel out of sorts, couldn't you? You could feel so like, oh, I'm just like that, or I don't know why I'm like that, or, you know, why didn't everybody else get on board with how I am? Whereas when you actually get to know yourself a little bit better, then you can integrate with people a lot easier, you know. And you can also just stand strong in the fact that you have those frequencies about you, like the decision maker here, the red leader. They excel at making quick, well-informed decisions. That is their thing. They can't help that. It's an impulsiveness, but it's also straight to the mouth from the brain. Do not argue with them. Do not argue. These are the arguers, okay? They have that ability because they're quick-witted. It's going to come to them, and they won't stop. Boop, boop, boop. They've got to have the last word. But they're the ones that they have that confidence in taking the action. So they are fantastic to have around. And I've met many people that have the red energy in their skill set, and they haven't utilized it yet. I talk to them, they're like, well, no, I don't see myself like that. And I'm like, okay, if that's the truth, and this is a very important point that I'm making, if any of the colors that you see here that you're like, well, I don't know if I'm like that, that might indicate there's a bit of an imbalance in you, which is perfectly normal. Okay, not saying that there's something wrong with you or that you're broken. What happens is, because of the life that you've led and where you've come from, where you've been, some of that means that you end up being small, or you end up not choosing yourself, your full self, being all of you. And so that means that where I would be explaining such a thing with your skill set, you might think, oh, I don't know if I could do that. And it's like, do you know what? You'll probably feel a lot more aligned and calm with your inner peace if you did do those things. So they're very proactive. They're the ones that can identify opportunities. They're the ones that set ambitious goals and they take that initiative. They drive the progress in their organizations. And I do have to say now, 1 is the number in numerology, coming up with new names all the time. 1 in numerology is what red is in colorology. And so 1 is very much the number of self. Okay. So sometimes we could come across as selfish. Not intended, okay? Because I'll tell you something about the reds. They are certainly not. That's definitely not what they are. They're so loving. They're so protective about their family and their friends and all sorts as well. It's just they have this ability to forge their own path and keep going with that. Sometimes they just need to recognize, like, oh, I've done that a bit too much. That's all. So yes, they are the leaders. They've got that effective communication about them as well, because they're able to deliver it clearly and quickly, straight out the mouth. Then we have here, I'm showing you, those obviously were the qualities of the red, the leader. Now we have red, the leader, in the perfect kind of role that you would find for a red. So we've got a CEO, chief executive officer, obviously high-ranking jobs. You're going to see them in high-ranking jobs, critical decision-making. You know, they're driving the overall success of the business. Entrepreneurs, oh, they'll love sinking their teeth into that, because what does an entrepreneur do? They have to just worry about themselves and their business, don't they? So that's fantastic. That just means that no one else is getting in their way. They can do it. Then you've got military officer. Again, it's that leading from the front, making those strategic decisions and ensuring the mission success. Leadership coaches or trainers as well. They're able to set themselves as an example to help other people, and they thrive at that. They're brilliant. And they also, red is also known as the color of passion. So they'll be able to drive that forward to help inspire people too. Or an event planner. Oh, look, there's an event planner today and I've got red in me. There you go. Utilizing my skills. Now we have the green. Okay, so the green is the communicator, the empathic communicator, because they feel, they're in their heart, right? So they're very much likely to possess a high degree of empathy and allowing to connect emotionally with people, with nature, definitely with nature and people. They are the ones that like, oh, pull on the heartstrings. You know, all of these, I don't know if the old wives' tale is the right way to put it. You know, where we hear some cliche old sayings that we just repeat, we say a lot. Things like pull on the heartstrings and stuff. You know, there's sayings that we've heard since the dawn of time. There's a reason for that. There's a reason for all of this, because it all does connect to each other. And like this with the green, pull on the heartstrings, anything to do with the green, even the green of envy and jealousy, it has a lot to do with the green. So if you find an imbalanced green, they too could feel jealous of other people, or they could attract that, people being jealous about them and envious of their positions. So they have to be extra careful of that as well. But they actively listen to people. They have that. They're the kind of person that's going to be, oh, stick the kettle on, love, all right. You know, I've made some little cakes and we'll sit down and have a cuppa. And they can have that with you. You feel loved, instantly loved and connected by them. They're the nurturers. It's very, very natural to them to do so. So teamwork, collaboration, communities, everything like that is just perfect for a green. That's where they thrive. Conflict avoidance, interesting. So while skilled in conflict resolution, greens individuals also understand the importance of conflict avoidance when appropriate, because that's what they do. They try and balance things. They're about the harmony and balance when it comes to the green. So they will avoid it rather than get involved with it. They're like, oh, it's not my drama. Here we have a few examples of what the green would have as a position. So we've got healthcare professionals. Almost seems like, oh, of course. Yeah, of course they'd be a healthcare professional, but they would. So again, matters of the heart, matters of dealing with people, helping them, doctors, nurses, healthcare providers. You know, that's where they're going to be able to have their empathetic communication, and they'll be able to lead to better health outcomes, which is all to do with your green. Counselors and therapists, teachers and educators, human resources professionals, again, HR, although, I don't know, I'm trying to think of some of the HR people I've known in the past. Maybe it's just to do with the company. I'm going to take it down to the individual, but HR still, it's meant to be the heart of the company, isn't it? It's meant to be the part where they are looking after their staff. So it's going to be from here. So it's dealing with things in a delicate manner, but it's for the people. And then social workers as well. So green traits, well equipped to advocate for the vulnerable populations. They're the ones that are going to stand in for them and help them. Yes, so these are some real life success stories, okay? Be powerful motivators. This is demonstrating tangible benefits of aligning the skill set colors with. So this is John. John was a red leader. I've changed their names, but these are two clients that I've had as well. And I just wanted to give them, or rather them give an example of their life and how their skill set, knowing their skill set has helped them. So the leader, so this was our John, a natural born leader with a strong red skill set, started as a middle manager in a tech company. Recognizing his leadership potential, he worked his way up the corporate ladder. Today, he is the CEO of a successful startup, leading a dynamic team to innovative heights. John's journey showcases how embracing your leadership qualities can open doors to significant career opportunities. It completely changed his life. He knew he had this within him, and he felt at these times where he was basically, this is what the universe does with everybody. He was given these opportunities within his workplace to speak up, to take charge, but he wasn't. He wasn't, because his role on paper was basically saying that he didn't need to, so he didn't. But once we actually had a few sessions and said, if you actually lent into your skill set a bit more, you might find that you're going to go into a role that better suits you, because he couldn't stand where he was anymore, but he loved the company. And he did, he started speaking up. And they were really impressed with what material was coming from him as well. And then they kept coming to him and being like, well, so what do you think about that? Until the point came where the job vacancy was available and he went for it. And they were like, we just don't think anyone's better suited. You're fantastic. So he really utilized his skills there. And it's funny because he said to me exactly what I said earlier. As soon as he knew that that was his skills and he could do it, so someone's basically given him the green light and said, yeah, that is within you. This weird self-belief happened. It was like this cognitive response, this subconscious of going, yeah, do you know what? I am that. I am that. You know, not worrying. Because once, as again, you know your colors, you know that that's you. And then he went for it, which is fantastic. Then we've got Freya. So Freya is our green. So she's known for, obviously, as I said earlier, her empathetic and compassionate skill set. So she struggled to find fulfillment in her early career as a marketing executive. She decided to pivot and pursued a career in counseling. Her ability to connect with people on a deep level made her an excellent therapist. Today, Freya is helping individuals and families navigate their emotional challenges, proving that following your skill set colors can lead to a fulfilling and meaningful. I get quite emotional when reading Freya's because I've been on a right journey with her. She was basically downtrodden so much in her job before, because she's all of the heart. She was just looking after the team all the time, but she wasn't really utilizing her skills in the business. She was just administrative, doing a lot of reception at work, but doing too much for her role. But again, oh, okay, I'll do that for you. Okay, I'll do that for you. And so everyone just kind of chucked it to her, and she was still not noticed how she should have been. And then I said, well, what do you want to do? And that's where we've got to sit a lot of the time. None of this, oh, I've got to have this much money, so I need that job for that. Or these are the skills that I have so far, as in like, this is what my CV says, so I'll do that. Like, what do you want? No limitations. Nothing, no limitations in this world. Time, space, money, doesn't matter. What is it that what's going to set your heart on fire and make you sing? That when you get up in the morning, you're like, yes, I'm doing this. Because it's energizing you in a few different ways. Because, you're helping people maybe, or maybe you're helping your family. Maybe you're being seen and you should be seen, all these different things. But that's, again, coming into alignment and choosing you through knowing your colors, and by writing down exactly what it is that you want to go for. That's where you're going to find fulfillment. Pressing wrong buttons. There we go. So key points. So those success stories serve as powerful examples of individuals who transform their lives. Yes, they're embracing their skill set colors, as I was just saying there. So it gives you that passion and purpose. Following your skill set colors. I will get it right in a minute. Maybe I need just different teeth next time. I'll put the right teeth in next time. That's what's going to help me. Often leads to a career that aligns with your passions and your sense of purpose. What happens when we don't come into alignment with our own passion and our own sense of purpose? We get depressed. Your soul goes into deep rest. It's just like, I don't want to do this. I can't, and it's trying to talk to you. So it is so important to choose the right job for you. Job satisfaction. So if you've got a role that complements them, then you're more likely to experience that job satisfaction. It means that you're a nicer person as well. It helps your overall well-being. But obviously, when you come and meet your family as well, you're not like, don't talk to me. What's for dinner? Oh no, they usually say that to you when you come in. Well, that's my past experience. You come, what's for dinner? Well, I haven't got time to think about that now. Career growth. So leveraging your innate strengths can open doors to career growth and advancement, as demonstrated by John, the leadership journey. That's what it did. Is leveraging, is getting up, it's progressing, it's growing and making a difference, which is why I do what I do, because there's nothing more rewarding. When you feel like you have implemented something that has truly struck a chord with someone, they have an epiphany or an aha moment that's able to be applied to their own life, that actually brings about changes. So not just them, but then everyone that's affected by them as well. There isn't anything more rewarding. And so that's why I do what I do, because I've fully connected with that. And it's funny because that is me, pleasing. I love to make people happy. But in jobs where it wasn't utilizing that skill, all I was doing was people pleasing. All I was doing was being the doormat. So now I can apply that within the area that it truly needs. I am now in alignment. Entrepreneurial success. Skill set colors can be the foundation for successful entrepreneurial ventures, as well as you saw in John's story as well. But not everybody wants to be an entrepreneur. That's fine. But you can still find those businesses where you are able to be kind of left to your own decision making, or at least your integrity is trusted, But the only way that that's ever done is by you speaking up and knowing yourself, because only you knowing yourself will mean that you're able to present that to people, to be like, this is what I need. Whereas a lot of the time we keep going to places and we're like, what is it you need? Okay, I'll mold to that. And we don't need to do that. Yes. So here, by aligning your skill set colors with job opportunities, you increase your chance to find the career path that not only matches your natural inclinations, but also brings joy, as we said there. So it's time to take action. So this is where I would encourage everybody to do the exercise at the start of this presentation. Definitely get those skill set colors in. If it's something that, I've touched on very briefly and you want to explore with me at another time, please do. Please do. My door is open and you are more than welcome to set an appointment with me and we can go into that. Because I would have to say, most of our human life, and this is actually annoying, but it is the truth, most of our human life is going to be down to working. It is. It's going to be about where we are most of the day. So it's a very, very important part to know And so if you do want to explore that with me, then please let me know. There's some details on the screen there. You can get in touch with me and book a session, and we can go into discovering your skill set colors. But we don't just do that either. We do go into understanding everything. Because like I said earlier, that you might have an imbalance, or you might have a part within you that's not quite shining through as it should. And that's because that area probably needs to be explored a bit more.